Here's where we're at. We're about to tackle 2.4 story.
So good.
And I'm trying focus mode for the first time because it sounds cool. Here's my big worry with Wuthering Waves story. It is 2.4, same with 2.3 and 2.2. And I think 2.1 to a lesser extent. 2.0 was fantastic, perfect, no complaints whatsoever. My big complaint is, for the first half of the patch, the story is very substance-based. As in, it builds up the story, the world, the characters, how it all interacts, how everything moves, how it all interconnects. And then sets up the mystery and intrigue. With a little bit of cool, stylish moments at the end to be like, hey, stick around for part 2. Then part 2 hits. And it's just kind of, wow, look at these cool, flashy animations. Wow, epic cutscene. Wow, look at this fight. Anyway, it's all resolved now. On to the next one. It feels like the second half all focuses on style over substance. I'm hoping I'm wrong. And if you disagree, you know, feel free to let me know. It's my own personal thoughts. I'm hoping I'm wrong. But from what I remember, that's kind of how it's been. So hopefully things change for the better. That being said, even if it is style over substance, the story is still pretty good. If you haven't skipped. I know some people don't really care for it. I, for one, do. I think it's great. That's why I'm kind of doing this, to be like, hey, I was wrong, or hey, I feel vindicated because I was right. But we'll see. Once again, these are my own thoughts and opinions. You can disagree if you want. You can critique. You can agree. Just don't be a dick. Yeah. Don't be a Genshin fan. Be like,
How dare you? You said something about my game. You're gonna die.
Don't be that. Okay. You're better than that. All right. So let's go focus on the story, shall we?
2 hours later.
So I'm going to try and avoid spoilers for this, because it's still pretty out there. It's only been like, what, a day since the second half of 2.4's dropped. So, as spoiler free as possible. I think there's a huge problem in Wuthering Waves. And it's the story. The story is fantastic. One of the best, well-told stories ever. Except, maybe not well-told. So, the first patch... the first half of 2.4, the story was very... It built up little bits of world lore and introduced characters, you know, all these things happening at once. Got the setting down, while also being flashy and stylish near the end to get you hooked for the later half, or part 2, which I believe, judging by this and what's going on here, I have finished. My issue is, it's been about an hour... 46 minutes at the time of recording now. I think the story's too short. I think 3 to 4 hours is probably the perfect length. Like 6 to 8 hours that Star Rail does, no. We skip buttons, sure, if you want to say that. My issue is the first half of every patch, heavy substance, quite a bit of style, just to get you hooked in and really make you think, wow, I can't wait for the next patch. And then they don't really explain anything with the story. It's just, I'm here now. And I don't really understand how. For example...
My fellow what?
Okay, no mind. We fucked that. But you get a nice little recap here from Loop about how a certain character, if you play 2.4, the first half, you understand it's Mia. How she relates to the story. And I'm thinking, you could have told me that during the story? You thought my attention span's so low, I'd be like... I don't care about this character. I just want big flashy fights. No, I want to know the character. Now, once again, this is my opinion. If you disagree, that's fine. You can disagree with that. But at least try and see where I'm coming from. Because when you play this, you'll understand what I mean by very stylish, very flashy, very... Oh my fucking god. I was in awe, by the way, about what happens with Looper. It was fan-fucking-tastic. It was amazing. It was just... The way we got there was kind of very lackluster and disappointing because I wasn't invested in the story because I didn't really know what was happening because they didn't really tell you what was happening. It was just... Alright, go to the next area. We want to show you this cool thing we've made. Just hurry up. Get there now. And speaking of Looper, I don't think she was the right character for this patch. I think I would have preferred another Carter for you. Like, Looper felt like she was the protagonist air quotes, because when you play this, you'll understand what I mean by protagonist. It felt she was the main focus of the story, purely because she's on sale right now. It's her first, she's here. You want to pull this character. And this story is going to make you go, wow, look how flashy and crazy and insanely great she is. Do you want it yet? Look how shiny and new she is. Go pull her right now. Rather than having a well thought out told story like 2.3. I thought 2.3 was probably the best story Renacita's had so far. Yes, including 2.0. Because that really was, at least to me, style and substance perfectly matched. This just felt, hey, Lupa's here. Cool flashy fight, she's a gladiator, she wants to fight, now let's go fight. She was very straightforward in who she is. I'm a gladiator, I want to solve this problem through fighting, I just prefer Cartafia, and I wish we had another Cartafia, because clearly, she can carry the story. She's much more important to it than whatever Lupa's role was. Which, by the way, this might be a spoiler, so fair warning, I'll make it as spoiler-free as possible, like I said. You could replace Lupa with any other character in the story. You could replace Lupa with fucking Verena. Still the same outcome. I still would have preferred Cartafia. It could have been Mia was probably a better fit for the main role than Lupa. It truly does feel like, hey, Lupa's the new banner on the unit right now. But they're in the story. No, Cartafia is just... I think Cartafia should have been the main focus. Like, animation-wise, story-wise, like, style-wise, definitely, like, an 8 to 9 out of 10. I shit you not. The things Kuro Games have been doing with the story and how they tell the presentation-wise is immaculate. It truly is some of the best storytelling ever seen. The story itself, it felt so rushed. It felt like, okay, let's move on to the next bit. At least
the great battle.
At least in the second half. The first halves are always really good for story-wise, setting it up. And everything else at the end felt rushed. It was like... Cartafia finally finds out, or finds who she's looking for, and asks, what are your plans for Septimon? The bad guy's response, I shit you not. Hey, you'll find out. Don't worry about it. Which is that would ruin the mystery. It's like, at least set it up a little bit.
Good.
At least tease what 2.5 or 2.6 the next patch is going to do. I don't really feel... Like I said, maybe there's more. Maybe there's more, we'll see. I don't feel like they set up well enough. It feels like, okay, 2.4 is done. We'll just do all the hard work in 2.5. I would just like to see it kind of carry over from patch after patch. Like, even 2.3 to 2.4 just kind of felt, hey, Cartavia's in Septimon now. Okay, but you didn't set it up for 2.3. Why is she there? Blake, you'll see. Yeah, that's my only real complaint with Wuthering Waves. It's just, the story feels very... It's like they can't decide if they want heavy story or a flashy story, and they can do both. I'll make the second half of the patch as good as the first in terms of the story you're telling, rather than just, here's how we're going to show the story.
Oh, smells so
I
good.
feel so let down. I feel so disappointed. I came in with high hopes. Lupa's a fine character, really fun, great animations, obviously. But she's not it. She's not the protagonist. That makes sense. But yeah, maybe there's more, maybe I'll add more in the end. We'll see. Either way, I could be talking out my ass. There's like another 30 minutes to go that sets up everything perfectly. And if there is, well, you'll see more later on. But until then, like, comment, subscribe. Don't be a dickhead in the comment section and be like, oh, you're wrong. Oh, I'm not coming after your billion-dollar company, Kuro Games. I'm not after Kuro Games being like, Kuro Games is shit. I hope they never make another game again. End Wuthering Waves. No. I'm just giving constructive criticism, and you don't have to feel personally offended by that. You can be like, wow, that's an opinion I don't agree with. I think you're wrong. Here's why I think you're wrong. Not just, you're wrong, dickhead, kill yourself. You know? Anyway, like, comment, subscribe, stay refreshing. And hopefully there's no more after this, because I'm going to feel really bad if there is. Okay, so, it turns out that wasn't the end of the quest like I thought it was. We still had like another 5-10 minutes, just a nice little brief wrap-up. Still suffers the same issues. It didn't really set anything up, so I'm just mesmerized by Lupa. It just added to like the emotional factor, shall we say. It didn't really add too much, in my opinion, rather than an emotional connection. But yeah, I will say, still absolute cinema. Still really good. Just, yeah, I don't know, I feel like there's a lot more they could, rather than trying to rush the substance, let it breathe a little bit. They proved they can do it. I just want a little bit more. Not like 8 hours worth of story, but just more to kind of let it breathe. Really let it stew to be like, oh, we don't have to just wait for the end to ask follow-up questions to fill in the blanks. It fills in the blanks for us. That being said, once again, everything I've said still holds true. Don't be a dick in the comments if you disagree. If you agree, don't be a dick to people who might disagree. Stay refreshing, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Toodles.